Okay, now an important skill to have is to be able to identify cos, sine, and tan of different angles without using CAS at all, or any kind of technology. So for that, you need to know these three triangles. Let's say draw them at the top of every page. Here they are at the top of my page. Now, and we use these in conjunction with the unit circle. So I haven't quite got the circle here, but we've got the axes there, and that'll help us to work these things out. So first thing we're looking at is cos of 5 pi on 3. Now, basically, whatever we've got, whether this is on 3 or on 6 or 30, we're looking at multiples of that that triangle. So over here, if we've got cos of 5 pi on 3, we're interested in this triangle, the pi on 3 triangle. For sine of 7 pi on 6, this is 7. Let me just draw that clearer. That's already in blue. 7 pi on 6. Actually, I'll just rewrite that. Sine of 7 pi over 6. So that all has to do with pi on 6 triangle, that one there. And the tan of 30 has to do once again with pi on 6 because that's their equivalent. So let's have a look. 5 pi on 3. Now that is almost 6 pi on 3. This is actually 2 pi minus pi over 3. So that angle is going to be somewhere around there. But in order for us to satisfy this 5 pi on 3, we've got to go all the way around to there. So that's what we're looking at there. Now, even though we've got that, we have this triangle. We've got the pi on 3. Ah, no, I've made a mistake here. This is pi on 3. And this is pi on 6. Okay, so we're going to use our pi on 3 triangle to work this out. Now, this ends up being positive because it's out in the fourth quadrant. Because we stop here in the fourth quadrant, it's positive. So this is equal to cos of pi over 3. Same as our base angle. It's all about the base. So we look at cos of pi on 3. As we can see there, it is a half. Adjacent over hypotenuse means it's 1/2. So cos of 5 pi over 3 is equal to cos of pi over 3, which equals 1/2. Same case here with 7 pi on 6. We look at 7 pi on 6, and that is a little bit more. 7 pi over 6 equals pi plus pi over 6. So it's out here in the third quadrant. So to go around, we've gone all around there. So we know that if we're dealing with sine is negative here in the third quadrant. So this ends up being the negative sine of pi over 6. We have a look at our pi on 6. Our sine is opposite over hypotenuse. This ends up being negative 1/2. So that's what we've got there. Now, we're going to look at tan of negative 30. For negative 30, we're somewhere over here. And that's what we've got there. Now, in this quadrant, tan is negative. We've still got an angle here of 30 degrees. So we've still got our 30. So we'll say that tan of negative 30 degrees equals negative tan of 30. So we look at our 30 degrees, or pi on 6. Tan is opposite over adjacent, so again, it's going to be negative 1 over root 3. So that's what we've got to be able to do there. So we've got to be able to identify the angle we're working with, break it up into its base. This is what we've got here, and then see what else we've got to do, how else we manipulate it. So here, we saw that this was a little bit less than 2 pi, so it was out in the fourth quadrant. Cos is positive in the fourth quadrant, so it's equivalent. This one ends up being in the third quadrant where sine is negative, so we use our base angle and we make it negative. And then tan is negative in the fourth quadrant. Once again, we use our base angle of 30 degrees to solve it, and we make it negative.